Hey guys, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mohidin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, as you guys know, some excellent announcements were made, some a little bit more less happy memories were made. Obviously, with regards to the two players that tested positive in the camp. Obviously, you heard about that. We posted about that. But I'm not going to be talking about the negative things because we have some excellent news. One of those pieces of stories that we brought out today is the call-ups of two particular players, young players as that might be, that will be getting their maiden test call-up. And one of them is Lutho Sipamla and one of them is Raynard van Tonder. Now, we're going to be getting Lutho on this show to ask him about his call-up and how he's feeling about it, what his mindset is like, how he prepared for this particular achievement when it comes to when it came to him. Obviously, now it would have been quite a surprise when it happened, but it's something that I know he's been working for his entire life. But before we get into it, guys, please don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos, of course. So let's get into today's topics. So obviously, as I said, we're going to be talking about the test squad in depth. I'm going to be bringing on some guys maybe a little bit later to come have a conversation with us about this. Obviously, it's going to be an excellent show. We're obviously going to be very open and honest about it. But I thought that the perfect way to start this is with one of the maiden test call-ups, and that is bringing Lutho Sipamla on the show. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. You guys can bring your comments in the comment section. If you want to ask any questions, I'll try to ask them if there is still time. But first and foremost, welcome Lutho Sipamla to the show. It's great to see you again.
Okay, thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, no problem, man. So first and foremost, let's get straight into it, man. When you heard that you were going to be called up into the test squad, I mean, that was obviously one of your dreams that you spoke about before. Just what went through your mind? How are you feeling right right this second? Actually thinking about it.
Yeah, as soon as I got the call, I was very excited, of course. Yeah, like, as you said, a childhood dream to play Test cricket for your country, and yeah, I wasn't actually expecting it, but yeah, as soon as I got the call, you can imagine how much joy was running through my body and excitement, and yeah, I was just really grateful and honored to be given the Test call up. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do how does a young player like you prepare for something like this? Because I mean, 4-day cricket is the hardest part of the game. Obviously, Test cricket even harder. But with that dream in your mind, when you approach a season or you approach like last season, for example, you were excellent for the Warriors. You were the top seamer in the tournament with 24 wickets. So it was an excellent return from your part. Um, I wanted to ask you though, how do you prepare for the longer formats? What sort of mental preparation do you do before that?
Mentally, it's just about making sure um, I'm in the right space of mind. More than anything, I'm trying to make sure that I know my plans. I've prepared well mentally. What am I gonna come against? Who am I gonna bowl to? Know the plans I'm gonna bowl to each and every individual bowler. I mean batsman, sorry. And yeah, once I've done that and I made sure I know who I'm playing against, I feel a lot more calmer. And yeah, physically, then it's definitely in the nets, making sure that I've prepared the right game plans and the right tactics against the team I'm going to play against. And once I've done that, I just make sure I know that I've done my work and I can go into the game knowing that I've done my work, and just backing my skill at the end of the day. So that's how I really prepare for it and go about it.
hmm Because obviously we know how different the formats are. I mean, obviously you've had your opportunities at an international level in the shorter formats. When you talk about T20 cricket, for example, it's about well, we've seen that it's a lot about variations, about bowling that Yorker, etc., and all of those type of things. For the longer format, it's a lot about consistency. There was a great clip that was played with regards to the India and Australia test. You obviously saw the Pat Cummins wicket. I mean, a lot of people were talking about it, but that consistency of bowling on one particular spot consistently in that corridor of uncertainty in a way, consistently. Can you give me some insight into that? Like, how do you go about preparing for that in training, etc., to get that consistency? Is Test cricket, or I would say 4-day cricket, a longer format, all about consistency?
Yes, a big part of 4-day in Test cricket is definitely consistency. I feel like the more pressure you build and asking questions about the batsman's technique, putting the ball in the right area, you have a bigger chance of taking a wicket and of course succeeding in that spell or in your bowling that you in the innings. So yeah, consistency is a big thing, and the way I go about it, just making sure I bowl a lot of balls. I believe in bowling quite a lot, but bowling a lot purposefully, hitting the right area, making sure I'm hitting top of off, getting the batsman on the front foot, for as long as possible. And the only way you can do that is going to the net and bowling for long hours, and trying to execute that as much as possible.
So obviously, we all know that you guys are going to be going into a biosecure bubble, of course. Something that's you maybe know more about. But if I can ask you about this particular bubble, is going to be a little bit different, obviously, to the other series, or yeah, etc. What are the two things or the two main things that you're going to be taking into the bubble to keep you obviously sane, obviously in this time?
Definitely taking my laptop in there. Yeah, need to watch a lot of series and movies. I think taking time off and just taking time off cricket helped. I do that by watching movies and series. And yeah, I would have taken my PlayStation with me. That's what I did in the last one. It helped a lot. Just keep me occupied and busy in the hotel when it's long hours of just sitting there in your room sometimes, and it's tough. It can get tough, but with those, I think those two essential things help me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, personally, have you thought about the certain people that you really want to have a conversation with? Maybe I know you've dealt with a lot of the guys over there before in the shorter formats, and you know a lot of the guys already. But is there someone specific that maybe you want to run a few things by to learn who you're going to attach yourself to learn more about the test game, the longer format?
Well, Coach Shaw Langefeld is someone I kind of keep in contact with a lot, especially when I'm there. He helps me break things down, making things a little bit simpler. So I'm definitely keeping close to him, and of course keeping close to guys like Lungi, to guys that have played the game. Anna, they play Test cricket, so they know what it's about. So definitely asking the right questions towards them.
Yeah.
I'll definitely gain a lot and hopefully learn a lot from them as quickly as I can.
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. I'm really excited to obviously watch you play, and I'm really excited to see you in action. If you get an opportunity, I really would like to see that happen. Good luck for everything. Good luck for the tour, for the series, and good luck for the bio bubble, of course, because it's going to be quite tricky to be in there. And I hope you get everything that you wish for.
Thank you so much, Khalid. Thank you for having me on the show again today.
No problem, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Good luck.
Awesome. Cheers.
So guys, that's what Lutho obviously had to say. Excellent, obviously, from his part. Obviously, all of us would want to see him obviously play. And that's the main thing that I would really like to see. If there's anybody that wants to talk about the next step, let's talk about the next story. And that's obviously about finding the balance in the test squad, finding those gaps, those different gaps within the test side. I mean, we did a piece recently where we spoke about the different, what I tried to do a piece, and I tried to do an investigative piece where I looked at certain guys, especially in the batting lineup, because I think that's where we really struggle, is finding that solutions in the batting lineup and finding the gaps that are missing in the batting lineup. I read a piece recently talking exactly about that, where Andrew Sampson actually helped me out and sent me some stats. I asked him to help me out and find the stats where it's over the last 5 series and in the 4-day series and the top run scorers and their averages in those particular series. And then that's what I wanted to find out from him. And I wanted to find out so I could see basically over a period of time who have been the top performers so that we can fill in those gaps. Because if we're going to think about the test side and we're going to look at it and say that maybe there are guys like Faf, Quinton, and maybe Dean Algar that are really the solidified players in that side, we have to kind of then find other players for the rest of the squad. So obviously Aiden Markram has been the fan favorite mostly to open up the batting with Dean Algar. And then we've got a number 3 position where we've called up now Raynard van Tonder, and we also have Keegan Peterson in the side. And I speak about that and I dive into that and talk about the different stats and who are the guys that have been performing at that level. And it's quite interesting what we came up with. We obviously came up with a lot of different insights into certain players. Like, for example, I'm going to put up the squad in front of you. Now, mind you, you know that there's 2 players that have picked up coronavirus. There's a 19-man squad that I'm putting up for you. We do not know who are the guys that have not, who are positive for the virus and who are going to be sent into isolation. So I can't really make a decision on who these 3 players that have been called up are replacing. My first understanding would be that they are replacing someone in the squad. So there's going to be a large call for people to see Raynard van Tonder obviously play. I'm a big fan of Raynard. I've always been, and I haven't been shy of saying that. I mean, he's come on the show quite a few times, and he's spoken to me about how he wants to become the number 1 batsman in the world, and that is his dream. So this is a one step closer to his dream. Obviously, getting that opportunity, and I know a lot of you guys are fans of him. I can see in the comment section that you guys love him. So yeah, I'm just reading some of the comments here. Lubabala saying don't be too close, bro. Yella must still social distance. That's obviously to Lutho Sipamla, etc., and everybody else. Everybody's gonna obviously be playing FIFA in there as well. But let's just get back to the squad again. So we don't know who they're going to be replacing. But when you look at the squad, the different stats, and in that particular article I do speak about it. You'll notice that Raynard van Tonder, excellent talent, but all 6 of his first-class centuries, 4 of them have been for his franchise, the Knights. They've all been in Bloemfontein, generally on what's called flat pitches, that people say it's batting paradises in Bloemfontein, many would say. But then you look at some teams that have struggled on that pitches as well. So you have to take it into consideration. Take the match into consideration, take the pressure into the consideration. There's been times where he was under pressure that he needed to perform, and then he did. And he stood out. And I think he's one of those players that do step up when they're under pressure. Then you look at a guy like Carl Verreynne. Carl is an excellent player, and I think that number 6 position is always going to be up for grabs, and we've spoken about it. All depends on where South Africa are going to play Quinton de Kock. Are they going to trust Quinton de Kock as the keeper and the captain? Are they going to do that? Are they going to think about Quinton maybe as pushing him up the order, maybe dropping the gloves and a keeper coming in like Carl Verreynne to bat in the number 6 position? There's lots of talk to be happening, and there's a lot of talk that needs to take place about that. So that's another option that could happen. But I looked at the stats, and obviously in this piece, I looked at it in depth. And obviously, I looked at Carl Verreynne, obviously compared to someone like Temba Bavuma, because Temba has obviously batted majority of his time. He's batted in that number 6 position for South Africa. And when I looked at the stats and I saw what Carl Verreynne has done in his short time playing for the Cobras, it's quite phenomenal. I mean, 47 innings, he has an average of 50.46. He scored 2 centuries and 16 50s. When I looked at Temba Bavuma's stats, and over 99 innings for the Lions, he scored the same amount of 50s as Carl Verreynne. So it just shows how talented Carl Verreynne is if you're comparing him to a player that has played for the Proteas for so long and has been a servant to his franchise for so long. So those are some comparisons that I brought up. There's obviously going to be that number 3 position that the people are going to talk about. Number 4, number 5, all that whole batting lineup needs to be filled with stopgaps in a way, and we need to find our next best. How can I say? We're gonna have to find our best partners that we can fill up those particular spots. But I want to know what you guys think. So obviously, after this particular video is done, get your comments in the comment section. Get your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to obviously like and share with your friends so that they can also put their comments in this comment section and have a discussion with us about who you think are the people to fill those gaps in the test side. I've showed you the squad. It's a 90-man squad -2. We just don't know who the 2 players are that were tested positive for coronavirus. And I don't think they will release that to the public. I think we'll only probably, because of the doctor-patient confidentiality, the doctors aren't allowed to release that information without the player's permission. So that's a big thing that you guys have to know, because I know a lot of people have been calling out to find out who are the guys that have corona. That's the problem that will happen. I see Bad Panda saying that Raynard van Tonder at 6. That is also a possibility, because many batsmen, many a batsmen that are coming to the test squads, and if you look around the world, some youngsters have been put at number 6 just for protection, so that they can get used to the swing of things, to the space of things. Yes, some people might have the opinion, like John, that he will be wasted at number 6. But if you look at a guy like Pope for England, they protected him there in that number 6 position so that he can get the swing of things and he can get the understanding of what Test cricket works. He can build an innings. He won't have the pressure if the top batsmen perform. There's a lot of positives coming out of it if you want to protect the play in that way. But I want to hear what you guys think. I mean, obviously, we also know Michael Proteas has been called up. He'll have a maiden call-up. He's got in his maiden call-up as well. He's an all-rounder. I know that Cricket South Africa have spoken about him as a seamer, but he is an all-rounder. We did an episode with him in the lockdown show, so go check that out as well. That's obviously an amazing thing to see so many youngsters or so many new guys get given an opportunity. We obviously want to all see Glenton Steerman if he's going to be one of the guys that are going to start. We've done so many videos before. We'll probably talk about it Sunday evening again on our podcast show. And that's what we can speak about. Bad Panda making an excellent point. Ponting started at 6 in the beginning of his career. There's been quite a few batsmen that have done so. And after that, they've blossomed into the players that they are today. So it might be a good idea to put them there. When Hamza was called up into the squad, I thought that they will do that with him. I thought they would protect him, put him at the number 6 position when they saw that he was struggling. Because in domestic cricket, in South African domestic cricket, you don't really face like guys bowling 150 plus on both ends. Each franchise maybe has one guy that is getting close to that position, that maybe is getting close to that speed. You can maybe get one guy in the squad. Each person probably has one guy in that squad that bowls that quick. Here you're facing Test cricket. You're in the Test arena. You're in the middle. The pressure's on. It's against England. You're facing Mark Wood, and you're facing Jofra Archer, and you're facing Broad, and you're facing Jimmy Anderson. All guys that are 140 to 150. And they're all accurate, and they're bowling exactly on the spot and the same spot. And that consistency that Lutho spoke about, it's exactly what they have in their arsenal. And you're facing guys that there's not a lot of room for error. So you're going to be under pressure, especially batting at number 3. It's a difficult position, especially when if your top order collapses. And South Africa has been under so much pressure because they've been having top order collapses in a lot of games. And I hope that they can sort that out, of course. Aiden Markram is going to be key to that. We've got a text saying over here, number 4 is the best position for Raynard. Quinton to open and Aiden at 3. That's another option. If Kyle takes the gloves, yes, we want to see. Some of us want to see that. I'm one of those guys that thinks that Kyle should take the gloves. I think he's one of the best keepers I actually think he's the best keeper in the country, to be honest. And from my opinion, think Quinton de Kock takes a lot of confidence from the gloves. He's a wicketkeeper through and through. Don't think he'll ever drop the gloves. I think perhaps in the Test arena he might. Pavuma started at 6 and never progressed. Pavuma is interesting because there has been certain innings that he really put in a good shift and he's shown his fighting spirit. He has said in recent times that he really wants to take more responsibility and he really wants to prove that he has the ability to perform at the top level. So we'll have to see. I do not think that Temba Bavuma has been picked in the Proteas side because of quotas, like many people will say. If you guys know the quota system and how it's working in South Africa, the transformation system, it's 2 black Africans that need to be picked. And then there's 4 players of color. So either Indian or colored players that can be picked. So a total of 6, but 2 black Africans over a period of time. And there has been times when they've picked KG Rabada, Lungingiri, and Temba Bavuma in the same squad. So in the same side as well. So I don't think Temba has been picked for that reasons. I think they picked him because of they feel that he has a fighting spirit and a fighting edge in that number 6 position. And he has shown signs of that. He just needs to completely show his potential. I mean, 99 innings in 99 innings for the Lions is not a small fight. I mean, he's done his hard yards, and not only did he play 99 innings in that time. He actually averaged 40 odd during that period, 44.50 to be precise in that period. Scoring over 3,000 runs, obviously in domestic cricket. So it was quite a phenomenal feat that he performed like that. So I don't think that those are the reasons. Some people will say that that's the reason he has been picked. Koba saying Pavuma is quality, his numbers just not showing his talent at the moment, and that is true. I've got a caller. I was waiting for him to call in for quite some time. He took his time at it. So we've got Lububalo back again. Yes, so I've missed you, young. I haven't spoken to you in forever.
Yeah, hey, it's been a while. How are you doing?
No, I'm good. I'm quite tired. It's been a hectic week. Obviously, the Women's Super League, and obviously all this test announcements. First and foremost, I want to get your thoughts on the squad quickly. What is your thoughts on the squad and the new maiden call-ups? Obviously, we heard from Lutho early on in the day. You know him quite well. I liked his attitude. I like the attitude he showed in this interview, saying that he's looking to learn and he's looking to hit his mark, be consistent, learn from the others, learn from Charles Langeveld. And he knows what I like about Lutho is that he understands the differences in the formats. He knows what is needed in the 4-day, in the longer format, in the shorter format. He just needs to now execute it because he's very young still and he still has a lot of room to grow. But what's your first thoughts on the squad?
Okay, just something on Lutho. He's always struck me as someone who's always willing to learn. I even mentioned it on the comments there. He played for my club at the university. So there were times when we'd go to the nets, we'd find Lutho just bowling. And yeah, he's a really hardworking person. I wish him all the best. With regards to the squad, I'm a bit confused because they announced a very small squad at first, which was confusing because we have covered a lot of countries have been announcing massive squads, especially playing at home. And then now they're adding players bits by bits. Maybe they came back to their senses. At the same time, I'm a bit worried because I'm seeing some of the names that have been announced there. You look at Dwayne Pretorius. They said he's injured. He hasn't played cricket. I think he hasn't played since the first two matches of the 4-day series that he played as well. Lutho has played one game so far in the 4-day series. So might be a bit of concern in terms of match fitness. But overall, I think the squad is okay. For me, the squad looks. It can beat Sri Lanka. It looks good. I'm just hoping that not too many of the kept guys, the two guys that tested positive, I hope it's not from the guys that have caps because we're already thin on experience as it is. I think the most experienced guy in the side is Faf, and he hasn't even played more than 65. How many is it? I think it's around 60-something innings that he has. So it's a bit worrying for me, in my opinion, in terms of that. So I'm hoping it's maybe some of the guys with 1 or 2 test caps, because we're already thin on experience. And when it comes to international cricket,
for 65 matches, 112 innings, and he's the most experienced in the side. So you're right, 100%. And I was also concerned because, like I said in the piece that I was talking about, you guys can go see that on cricketfinanceman.com. It's like every single time I try to fit in the missing blanks, my hands start to shake when I'm about to type or about to write it down because I'm like, should I take this guy? Should I take that guy? I'm not sure if I feel the confidence. I almost feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's kind of with his squad. Like he's looking at his squad sometimes and he's like, can I trust this guy? Can I trust this guy? So at the moment it's exactly like that. I feel with the Proteas. Because I know a lot of people are sleeping on Rassie van der Dussen, and I think he needs to get some respect there because I looked at his domestic figures over the last 5 series and it's phenomenal actually. He's fourth on the run scoring list with 56 matches. I mean, he scored at an average of 53, 600s and 1450s. He's been quite consistent in domestic cricket, and he deserved his call up more than anybody else, I feel. Especially batting in the number 4 position where he bats majority of the times for the Lions.
I think
Do you think that he's the type of guy that is going to be trusted in the series, or do you think they're going to give more youngsters a chance here, Lubavalo?
Honestly speaking, I think they will trust Rassie for a bit longer. He showed promise in the matches that he has played, even though he hasn't set the stage alight. But he's shown promise, and he's experienced as well. I think one of the mistakes that a lot of people always make is we tend to confuse players in terms of formats. So, for example, we were not happy with how Rassie played the first two T20s. And now
Yes.
we take that frustration now into the test series. And we know he's a different type of player. He can play all three formats. He can play them differently. So for me personally, I don't like judging players based on how they played in a T20 match. At the same time, I like to separate the formats. I think not having KG is going to be a big that bowling attack. He was now the leader of the bowling attack, and if I'm not mistaken, he is the most kept fast bowler that we have. So now, whichever bowling attack that we're gonna have, it is going to be thin on experience, which is probably why I would make sure that Cash is in the team. I don't care how green the pitch is. I don't care how much movement we anticipate. I think Cash should be in the side for both test matches, because without KG, we're a bit thin on experience as far as the bowling attack is concerned.
You know what confuses me? When I was looking at the comment sections on our Facebook page, when I initially spoke about Rassie when he scored that 100, the anchoring 100 for the Lions, people were complaining about his strike rate. And I was like, do you know that this is test cricket, or 4-day cricket? Do you know that in this particular game, when you have a team collapsing around you and you still score a century, how difficult that is? Second of all, are they not watching guys like Pujara, guys like Dean Alga, who fight through the innings and showcase that, like, show what they're going to do? Not every single batsman is going to be like Kohli that scores a quick century in Test cricket. You need a balance in your side. And a guy like Rassie is so important in Test cricket because it's all about the mentality, patience, staying at the crease, surviving. It's all about that. I mean, that's why I don't understand if people have that education about it. And you as a coach, Luvalo, what can you give these guys as advice?
I actually saw, I went through those comments on the page, and I think I replied to one guy and I said, context is very important. Cricket is like language. Sometimes we use words. You can use a certain word 2 times, but you can use it differently. So it's like batting as well. Rassie, in the first innings for the Lions, he was not out. It tells us you don't even have to watch the match or follow the match to know what happened. If a guy batting in the top 4 scores how many runs? I think he scored 100 and he is not out. It tells you that wickets were tumbling on the other side. So for him to come and bash the ball doesn't make sense. Especially because we were chasing a massive total in the first innings. I think that's one of the things that I don't like blaming T20 cricket too much, but I think it's one of the things that have come with T20 cricket. People just want to see batsmen scoring quickly, and it doesn't work like that. Sometimes the context is very important. I was busy with some work, and I realized there's something that I noted with regards to Dominic Hendricks. I think it's both a good quality and maybe a disadvantage. The fact that he has the ability to face 4 maidens in a row, like any batsman who can do that in Test cricket, there will be times where you have to do that. I remember there were times where the Proteas could actually just close shop. That's why we spent, was it 9 years undefeated? I think it was away record for about 9 years. I think you look at the record there, we were not winning too many matches, but we had the ability to draw matches. We had the ability just to decide Graham Smith would decide, okay, I don't think we're going to win this match. And then he would decide to just close shop.
Yes.
And because he
Yes.
had the batsman for that kind of cricket, it made it very easy. For me personally, having a guy who can do that in the top four is very key. Someone who can just come in and close shop, because they can see that, well, we won't get to the total. So I'd rather we draw than we lose. So I think people need to understand that sometimes there's context to every match. So it wouldn't have made sense for us to come in and score at 100% when wickets are falling on the other side and they're chasing a massive total.
Yeah, that's lessons to be learned, because I mean, like you said, there's gonna be an opportunity, and 4-day cricket kind of tests you in that way as well, because sometimes you have no option but to just block out the draw because you can't win the match, and it's teaching the correct lessons to some of our youngsters and some of our players, because there's gonna be a time where we need to draw a match to win a series, and sometimes it's gonna be in that position where we're gonna have to do that. We might be in that situation with Sri Lanka, where we win, if we win the first test match and we need to draw the second one. If we in trouble, you need to have that mentality and that temperament to be able to stick it out. And especially in conditions like India, when we are struggling against spin, you want to see that fight, because especially when you're playing international cricket, like I said early on in the stream, when you're playing 4-day cricket, for example, you're not facing the type of players that have the consistency and the abundance of players that have consistency at once in one match. You might have some guys that have the consistency, and you might have some guys that are quick. Like, for example, I was talking about Zubair Hamza. Like, I was a bit, I wasn't really happy with the way they treated him with regards to Test cricket. I felt that they saw that he was struggling against the likes of Mark Wood, Jofra Archer, James Anderson, Broad. If you're struggling against guys that are that level, you're not going to get that consistency and that pace consistently in facing one team at a time. Each franchise might only have one guy or two guys that are that quick or that consistent. So the first time they experience that is, of course, at Test level. So that's the type of things that you learn by playing in the middle. You give the guys a long extended run in that middle. I hope that if Raynard van Tonder gets an opportunity and he doesn't perform well, that they don't just throw him into the wayside and say, look here, it's done, it's over, your time is up. Tienes de Bruin similarly. Tienes de Bruin has been, he smashes people here, and when he comes plays that basic, it's too easy for him to come at some points. Sometimes that's why, I mean, you will never send Quinton de Kock back to play domestic cricket. It's like too easy for him. He's gonna be like dominating everybody. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of things to think consideration when it comes to Test cricket.
I think that's where we are behind when compared to the other national teams. With us is we don't pick youngsters when we have guys like AB and when we have guys like Hash. We want to pick them when those guys are gone, which means now if you pick a young Raynard van Tonder, you have to play him in his natural position, because that's where the spot is for him to play. But now, if we were picking guys when your Hashims, your JPs are still there, it means now you're able to pick a Raynard van Tonder and play him at 6, just to try and blood him and welcome him into Test cricket. As you made an example with Ollie Pope with England. Ollie is their number 3 for the future, but you see he's batting at 6 and he looks comfortable there. He's getting used to Test cricket. He's getting used to Test cricket. In a few years from now, or even a year from now, Ollie Pope could be batting 3 for England and scoring runs. But now we pick players when we're in trouble. So it means now whoever gets picked must slot into that position that's open, and it's not even negotiable. I think we're at the point where if Faf is going to continue to play Test cricket, we need him to bat at 3. Because we need youngsters that are coming through to probably bat at around 6. Test cricket is not easy. It won't be easy for a youngster to just come in and slot in a 3 and score runs consistently. I don't know how many batsmen have been able to do that, to come in as youngsters and score plenty of runs at 3. But as someone made an example with Ponting, he started at 6 and then he went up. So I think that's where we're losing it. We need to get to a point where when we have a set team, when we have senior batsmen who are scoring runs and they're on form, start introducing these young batsmen, maybe at 6. It doesn't even have to be for the whole year, just a few matches, giving youngsters a chance and a taste of international cricket.
Of course. And the perfect way to end the stream, we had Bad Panda saying that he wished that we had a Pujara. And then John said, we do have a Pujara. His name is Andy Nokia. So that's a great way to end the stream. We have a great way to end the stream. Guys, thanks for watching. Thank you, Lububalo, for coming on the show. We will obviously talk about this on Sunday evening on our podcast show, a lot more in depth about the teams and about the thought processes. But guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the magazine. We hit 1,000 subscribers, guys, so get more people. We want to hit the next milestone. So subscribe to the magazine, download the latest issues, etc., etc. cricketfanaticsmag.com for all updates. We have a Sri Lanka series tab where you can click on it, and then obviously you'll get all the updates with regards to that. If you guys have a business and you're looking to make sales online, even if your business is offline, there are so many tabs in our articles for you to click on so that you can learn more about it. Marketing your business with Cricket Fanatics Magazine, brand promotion, whatever it may be. And if you want to make more sales online, there's a link as well in this description where you can do that too. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Thanks a lot for all the comments, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everyone.
Cheers.